Welcome to Playful Podcast, your guide into the underground scene where we discover topics on kink and electronic music every week. Don't forget to subscribe to not miss out on our next episode. I am excited to be here together with Theo and Victoria, better known as Brutalismus 3000. They hit like an explosion just before the pandemic with their new gabber hardcore post-techno punk, and we can easily say that it blew the internet away. The success was so big that the first live gig they ever did together was in front of 2,000 people. Getting to know them is like kids getting into Charlie's Chocolate Factory. Nothing is ordinary, everything is big, and you get so many surprises. The difference is that they just don't give a fuck. As you may know by now, Brutalismus is also on Playful Magazine's latest cover that is shot by Sven Marquardt himself, the mega talent, which is also why I'd recommend you to get the actual print copy from playfulmag.com. It's iconic and something that will never come back. In this interview, we get to hear how Brutalismus fueled their creativity, worked together in the studio, what created their success according to them, the journey up till today, and to be frank, we just get to know them as persons. So let's get to it. So you met each other on Tinder, right?
Yes, yeah.
In Berlin?
In Berlin, yeah. It's always the fast answer to this question. It's like one word, Tinder.
What a
they
good
should write us
commercial.
like checks by now or something.
Yeah, we thought they should write us a check, or we write them a check. We didn't decide on that yet,
Yeah.
but I think they should write us a check.
Yes, of course. You
Because
make
it's a
commercial
good
for them.
commercial.
Next time I'm gonna say Bumble. If they don't write me a check, I don't give a fuck. I don't know. Like, what's the word? We are making creators meet or something. Like they could have a whole campaign. I wouldn't do it,
Slogan.
but they could ask us.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
So if you listen, Tinder,
Yeah,
No.
just do it. Yeah.
just do
No,
it.
I mean, depends on the check. I have no integrity. If it's much money, I will do it. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
No, yeah. At least I love the honesty. We don't pretend to be nothing we're not here. We live in a capitalistic
Yeah,
society.
art means nothing to me.
But how long time ago was it you met?
4.5 years,
Mhm.
and then we started dating like for 4 or 5 months until
Later,
we
yeah,
said
yeah.
like, okay, we're a couple now. Was like after a
It's
party.
like casual dating and then really...
Yeah, it was after a
Non-casual
party,
dating.
and he brought me to the bus stop because I needed to leave early. I was working the next day, and then we decided on the bus stop.
Yeah. I was like, don't worry if I'm going back, because I'm such a hot shot. No. But like, don't worry. I see this as an exclusive thing now. It was at the old Griesmühle, actually. The best
Oh.
place. Worst bouncers, but best place in Berlin,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah.
But what did you do on the first date?
We met at 2 in the morning in a bar called Papa Bar or Vater Bar.
Vaterbar,
Yeah.
in Neukölln.
And then was like a couch. It was like 2 meters high. And Theo told me he always wanted to sit there, but it was so awkward.
It was really awkward.
And our legs were like this, and I'm also
Yeah.
not the,
Like
the
tangling,
tallest
and
person. And then I felt like,
I was like moving
Like a
all the way,
giant.
like I was falling
and
down.
then we decided after 10 minutes to sit somewhere else.
Then it was not awkward anymore. It was a good first date,
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, nice. So yeah, the swiping can work then.
Sure.
But like before you met, how was your separate musical journeys?
For me, I mean, I've been producing 10 years maybe, so quite a while for my age, but nothing ever like was as serious as this so far. It was like I actually started when I was 16 because all my friends got into minimal techno and I hated it. I hated all of techno actually. When I was younger, I was like really edgy, and then I was like, I can do this shit in like a minute on my iPad on GarageBand. Like, why are you listening to it? And I just wanted to prove myself that it's stupid music, And then I started doing that, and I was like, it's kind of fun. And then I got more and more professional equipment. And
I'm not that
that's
bad.
that's the way I started my music because I hated it.
But what did you listen to before then?
I was really, at this time, it's hard to say. I was I still am into punk. And at this time, it was probably like Kanye West and stuff. Like I was really, all my life, I was into Kanye West music, not the person, but the music. Person can be difficult, but yeah. And like, I don't know, at this time I changed from emo to punk to hip hop to like everything in my teenage years.
I saw a very fun video on you. I think it was on your private Instagram or something, where you are like playing really intensely, and your mom or someone is in the kitchen.
With my grandma.
A grandma is in the kitchen. You're like, it's such a picture of you, like the idea that you are just like, when you do something, you go all in and you don't care. Just put it on and you just like,
it was like this old piano, like synthesized piano or something, like really cheap. The track was called All the Cool Kids Have ADHD, because I really have ADHD diagnosed. And I think it's such an ADHD video as well. I'm like, I don't care for anything, actually. It's just like this very hyper-focused moment.
And it's coming out soon in a different way.
In a different way, actually, yeah. I got the melody in a new track now. And
really? You are like recycling it?
Yeah, just the melody. It always followed us. We never used it for a track, but it's such a good melody. Yeah. I think it's the last track on our debut like full-length album that we're gonna work on now. It still takes a while.
Yeah. When is it gonna be out, you think?
End of the year?
No. We cannot say that's too early. We always say it's so early.
Yeah, but then it doesn't work out in an hour.
We released Atmosphera like a year ago, and that was supposed to be the first single of our EP Eros Massacre. And then Eros Massacre came out 9 months later. It's so stupid. It was like, this is the first single, and then 9 months later the full thing. Yeah. So I don't want to say anything now. I think this time we'll be more quiet and say.
We try to be fast, but
when we know it's coming, we know for sure, because this time we also have a label and everything.
Yeah.
Yes. And you, Victoria, how's your musical journey?
So I was always into music, and as a kid I started to play the piano, but I need to admit it was quite unsuccessful.
You're not a successful piano player?
Yeah.
No. And
what does that mean?
Like I was really like in a different phase of my life, but I really wanted to learn an instrument, so both didn't work out together. Like
not even your parents wanted to hear you play.
Exactly, but they kind of forced me, but I was really not in the mood. But then when my piano was taken, because my father said he's not gonna pay any more classes because I'm not rehearsing, he took it away, and then I was actually quite sad. I remember this moment when they took my dusty piano away. And then I got also in the school choir, and I also just went there to polish my grades because I was not so good back in school. So I did that, and it was also not so cool in this moment because I was already early teenager.
What, the school choir isn't cool? What?
Yes, but then actually I quite liked it secretly, and I even had like a solo part in a quite big concert, so this was kind of small, embarrassing accomplishment. And yeah, in general, I was always like, in my young age, writing down a lot of lyrics. Like I was into Tupac, like still like kid, early teenager, writing a lot of lyrics down and his poems and reading them every day. So I was always like kind of into that. And the last years I was more into going to concerts and raving, of course, when I moved to Berlin. So this was more my musical journey then, and discovering the scene also behind it, and also the experience of experiencing music.
It was the first time recording with Brutalismus. Was like the first time.
It was just in the bedroom with a sock on the microphone, and super spontaneous kind of.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Yeah.
But like, when you say you were in musical school wasn't so cool. Like, who were you when you were growing up? Like, as a teenager?
I think I was everything. Like, I started of being super in this hip hop, R&B phase, like really young, when it was still like, when I just mentioned Tupac, for example, and into his lyrics. And then after it went to a punk phase and kind of gothic, it's maybe too much, but also like kind of punk pop, like Avril Lavigne and like
Sum 41.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Do you have the same references? Like, it sounds like a little bit like you have the same.
But I was like, because I'm younger, I was like in more in the emo phase. You
Yeah,
know, that was like this was like a very, I think, teenage-centered space at the time, phase at the time. So that was like the last thing I actually remember where I was like, I belonged to like a certain subculture, like now I don't see myself belonging to any subculture, not even the rave subculture, actually.
No.
Like, but this was the last time. I think this is the only difference.
And we
Punk
both
and everything
had
was
the
same.
skater phase also.
Yeah, but I
Like-
actually skated.
Yeah, but I did wakeboarding and snowboarding,
Wakeboarding,
so
yeah.
it's kind of
Oh.
the same.
It's even crazier, I think.
So, but then it also was like kind of anti-flag, and I don't know what was this, what word is kind
die
of.
for your government. Amazing
Die for your
music.
government, that shit.
I recorded it with like a little mobile phone from the CD. So I could listen to it when I'm on a school trip or something. I had like a mobile phone with a 40-second.
19 seconds was it back, no?
Mine was 40 seconds
really?
already. I had
Okay.
I had
Cool.
a better one apparently.
Yeah, mine
It's
was
like
19.
40 seconds of Die for the Government from Anti-Flag. Amazing.
So yeah,
Did you even speak about music the first time you met each other?
definitely.
yeah,
I think
I
it was
think-
one of the first topics.
I think it was DAF at the time, and like
Yeah.
Deutsch-Amerikanische Freundschaft, the German like punk wave band.
Yeah.
That was like it's still one of our favorite bands, but at this time it was like both our main favorite band. So this
Yeah.
was like a really good bonding thing, I guess.
I think what they did in the 70s, I think that was kind of also new how they saw music and how they got into music. Like all the other punk bands at that time had a bit of a different approach, and I think DRF did something really new, like with this really more fast.
very violent,
very violent
but like
music, and
openly
then-
violent. It was amazing.
Yeah, they were also playing a lot with violence, aggressiveness, and also with a lot of, how you can say.
I mean, you can say Nazi aesthetic.
Not
Definitely, it was.
Nazi-istic, but
We,
it
we
was-
wouldn't do that, but it was
Yeah.
a different time. Like really, how they all used it in a way. They were obviously anti, but they used it in a way of
Aesthetics, because
Yeah,
they like
aesthetics,
violence
actually, yeah.
and be vocal, and I think this is a bit
it's
also our
questionable, but
approach.
it's not,
Yeah.
not the
the
Nazi.
thing.
It was part
But
of the
the
punk
Yeah.
movement too.
Yeah.
It was like Sex Pistols, like Sid Vicious wore like a fucking swastika, which is also I don't really see the point in that, but like
No, me neither.
the whole violence aesthetic of DRF and all the like the other bands at the same time, I can see that. I can see that being a cool like provocative thing, and also a thing you think about if you see it. But I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't do it now, I guess.
Yeah, no, me neither.
Not gonna go on stage with a swastika. That's
No.
not a good career move.
This episode is brought to you by The Code, which makes me super excited as I'm a big fan of them and what they do. I bet you who are joining me in this interview and listening to Playful Podcast is just like I am excited about Berlin's club scene. Maybe you even live in Berlin, and if so, you know that part of the fun is getting dressed up and ready for the evening. At some clubs, it's even a necessity, and in my case, it always creates a tingling feeling in my body whenever I'm getting ready for a club and put that extra love to what I wear. This is why I'm so excited to tell you about The Code, which is so much more than a shop. I would say it's almost like a force. Not only do they work with so many independent local designers who are already part of the scene, but they genuinely love club culture, kink parties and techno. They have a beautiful space that's located just in front of Kit Kat. Convenient, right? The Code was launched from the Berlin fetish and club scene, and this is why they are authentically shining a light on independent designers and artists that are creating the aesthetics of the Berlin underground. Whether you're going to Kit Kat Berghain or a private party, or even want to surprise your partner, The Code is the space where individuals can explore and embrace their own kink, sensuality and hedonism. Except the most fabulous and sexy clothes, The Code also offers various jewelry and sex-related products. The Code is a sex-positive space where anyone can feel comfortable stepping out of the norm, with respect, support and without judgment. So whether you're new to the fetish and club scene, or if you've been in the game for long, The Code is the perfect place for you before you go out in Berlin. Thankfully, for you who don't live in Berlin, you can look at their website and on their social media, like Instagram, to find inspiration and even order pieces. And you'll get an immediate feel that this is something else. This is the place, almost like a community for people who are passionate about club culture, fetish wear, and techno, and you are invited in. And one thing that I really love about them, besides their support for local designers, is that they really see you when you're entering the store. They take such good care of you inside there, and I promise you, you're gonna feel like a star. Therefore, if you're living in Berlin, celebrate the weekend a little early and go to their store on Köpenickstrasse in front of KitKat to delve in their amazing energy and get to look at and even try out some beautiful and handmade pieces. You're gonna have an amazing time, I promise you that. Thank you, the code. So 5 months in, you got together, and then how did the start of creating Brutalismus 3000 go?
I think we just thought, because he was already producing, and then we had at that moment, or we always had the same style of music, and it was kind of an idea not out of nothing, but we thought, because I grew up with 3 different languages, so we thought, because I speak one Slavic language, we thought it could be actually quite fun to incorporate this Slavic
Especially
language,
the
which
Slavic
sounds also
language,
really hard and aggressive, into this music that we're into, and also create something new. I think this was a bit the main idea. On the first song also Theo was still singing, and this one we never released, but it's quite cool.
Oh no, the people will make us want to release it.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear.
We were a lot into like EBM as well at the time, so it was like Schwefelgelb or something, and then we wanted to mix that up and have like this really deep voice EBM German thing in it. But I think it's really good that we're focusing on you singing. I mean, I'm not bad, but like I can focus on production and everything. It's better, I guess.
You don't feel so comfortable to sing?
I mean, on stage I wouldn't probably. I feel okay like when we're recording or something. I actually had a project where I was singing before, and it was like a post-punk project. So we never played live, but yeah.
Anyways,
I think now it's the first time I'm happy with the music I'm doing, and it's the first time I'm also really not trying to put myself so much in the front, you know, like I'm trying to just like produce and have my hand there and just do whatever, and then and have Vicky as like the voice of it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Oh, do you feel the same way, that you are finding what you want to, like, did you ever produce anything before?
No, never.
So it's your
was
first?
Really the first time. Like, we did this one song, and we quite quickly or immediately thought it was nice. So we were showing all our friends, and then we had also a bit of the backup of our friends that they said also that they like it. So we thought, okay, could be something we could develop further.
Yeah. We dreamed really, really slow. Like not high in the beginning. That we were like, oh, maybe we can play once a show in front of like 50 people. That could be crazy. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah,
now,
we mentioned some clubs, and now we just said no to them. We're like, True. It would be amazing to play there. Now we got a request, like, no. We're not going to mention the club.
Of course not.
No.
No. Oh. Okay, but the name, like Brutalismus, it feels obvious, but is there anything behind 3000 or what? It's just
sounded cool to us. I think it's always cool to add a number after a word. So
it was also a certain time then, like this high tempo gabber thing that just like started to come back a little bit, but it was not really famous at the time in Berlin, at least. And then that was a cool thing to say, actually. Like,
yeah,
I don't know, could be any other number now. Actually, like another number would be cooler now. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just gonna
switch it. Brutalismus was like, I don't know, 2001. No.
No,
that's not good.
We need something more in the future, futuristic.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Keep to 3000. Sounds
great. Yeah. We're definitely gonna keep it. I'm sure.
But like you are so in tune with each other. It's so great to see the energy. But you are still so very different people, like personalities and characteristics. And like first time I met you, I was like, oh, okay. We were speaking a little bit about it, and Tia, you mentioned also before that you're it's easy for you to forget things, and that's also part of the ADHD.
Yeah.
And how would you describe each other?
I mean, I can describe our differences more.
Yeah.
Like there's I think one of the biggest things is that I'm really like, how do you say, if you believe people, like, you know, I think if I'm
trustful.
If I meet someone, I always kind of assume the best, because like people that really want something bad from you, it's just like something I don't understand so many times. So I'm like really open. I just like, if someone asks me how much we earn, I just say it. Like not in an interview, but I just say it to someone I see or something. It's stupid. And Vicky's like, never tell anyone how much we earn or anything. So Vicky's very much more careful, which is good, of course.
Yeah.
In like
I also come
people,
from a different background, so I think it's just like my.
I think that's
if
the
your
main
mother
thing,
comes from the socialism, you don't even leave a pen lying on the table because you think someone steals it from you.
Yeah.
It's still like it's a thinking that you got growing up, but also I try to tone a little bit down, and also, but like we were working now with a lot of people in the industry, and of course I'm always really careful with who we are working, and I'm always questioning, and he was quite open, and then we just have a discussion. I'm like, maybe this person doesn't want something good from us, so I'm always rethinking and thinking also things to the end, and I think this is the main difference. And then it's also a good balance for us, because sometimes you think, okay,
it's a good
chill,
balance,
and I'm like, wait, maybe here we need to be careful. So I think this works pretty well for us, and it's definitely the main difference, I would say.
Yeah, the one thing, but it's smaller. It's like, it doesn't matter, but it's like you're superstitious and I'm really not superstitious at all, which is kind of like a contra now. It's going back.
It's a really
like a
nice
one
balance,
thing. It's like I learned so many things that you apparently shouldn't do, like if you like cheering to someone, or like what's the name, cheering, right?
Yeah, like
this.
Yeah,
you cannot ever cross. Like if you're doing that with Vicky on a table, it takes like in half an hour, because everyone has to be like, okay, now it's your turn, and then look into the eyes. And your turn.
So you're very superstitious.
Yeah, because it brings so much bad luck, or I don't know, so many things that I cannot say. Like I'm just saying something. It's like, how can you say that? We will die tomorrow if you say that.
But now he's also superstitious in the airplane.
Flying. If I'm scared, I'm superstitious. Yeah,
he does like a funny thing with my nails, and he does like this.
Yeah, I touch every nail of the like fake nails.
But what if you fly alone?
Oh, that sucks. I'm less afraid if I fly alone, because I'm more afraid. Like, I mean, if something would happen, I would rather be alone, I think. Then also seeing Vicky suffering a lot, that would make it shittier, actually, the whole thing. So. But
usually we fly together, so.
No, yeah, we always fly together. So it's
Theo full of Xanax.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, well, speaking of the flying part, like now you're starting to tour pretty much, but it's also something you talked about, that you said last time that you don't really understand people taking that much gig. Like, what are they going to do with all the money?
Yeah, I mean, if it's like smaller DJs, or I can really understand if they like just want to build some money, but some DJs, like I know the fees of some of them, and then they play like 20 shows a month. It's like 15, let's say. It's like, how do you need this? It's like, but I think they really, really love it, and I don't love it. Like, I don't love it to play 3 shows in a weekend. It's just not my thing, actually.
Yeah, we are also a couple, so we also want to have some time together, and also we have a lot of friends in Berlin. So
do you feel that you
no time?
Yeah. Do you think you're ever gonna be pushed, because there's probably gonna be people who you work with sometimes who want you to? They're gonna be like, if you wanna grow, you need to take more gigs, and you need to go to.
Yeah,
it happens already, but we just say no.
Okay,
I think
good.
With like
it's really easy.
A big part of that is that it like went really fast for us. Like we kind of skipped a thing, like our second show ever, or like our first real show was in Paris in front of like 2,000 plus people. So we just skipped like a thing of really trying to get a name, you know? It was like, we're not really pushed, I think, because we can just say no, and it will not like do something bad. Yeah, it would not influence our career in a bad way, I think.
Yeah,
So
I also think so.
I mean, and if it would, I don't give a fuck. It's
Oh
okay.
yeah. So nice to like have each other as comfort there also to be like, because I think it's easier to get influenced by other people around you if you are not so strong together, I guess.
I think that helps. Yeah, we usually discuss the new gigs together when we get a proposal, but yeah, now we're kind of full until end of the year. So, and
but it's
December,
like not crazy.
we want to take some time. We want to go to our home places, and we just said no. Like, even if we would get a ridiculous offer on Halloween because it's Theo's favorite holiday, we would definitely say no, and it could be all the money in the world. We would just say no.
If you see us playing on Halloween, we sold everything we stand for, and then we're not ourselves anymore. We're just empty shells. If I play on Halloween, I just want to be at home, watch 80s horror movies.
It's
an important day for me.
Yeah.
Which ones do you watch?
Oh, it's like, Nightmare on Elm Street, the classics, like The Thing, or like 80s. I cannot watch really, really scary movies because Vicky gets too afraid. So
yeah, it's like.
But I love the old ones as well.
What is the Killer Clown thingy?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
From Outer Space.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought
really
all recommendations.
Ooh.
Eraserhead.
Yeah.
Oh, Eraserhead is kind of tough. I wanted to say Hellraiser, but Eraserhead is also amazing. So.
And Das Böse 1 until 3. Until 3.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Oh,
a lot of good movies.
Are you also inspired by movies when you create music?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, like Blade. It was very obviously inspired by the movie Blade. So we even we used the asset line that's in the very famous club scene in the opening. And then I wanted to name it Blade so people don't think we are acting like we're doing something original. I don't know. It was obviously an homage to that.
Definitely.
And then like Crash 96 is also called because of the movie Crash by David Cronenberg from 96. Not the very, very terrible LA Crash movie. The other one.
Yeah.
So I just put 96 to the name as well because the good one came out 96. Yeah, I think I'm studying film, so a lot of the influence comes from movies as well, more than music sometimes.
And also, it works for lyrics, like some Slovak lyrics, because it's also my second or third language. At some point the vocabulary goes out, so I just watch some artsy movies, I don't know, like on Criterion, and then I just stop and listen what they say.
Daisies movie, is it Slovak?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing, yeah.
So, of course, you can also take inspiration from movies and from
you should
titles. Yeah, you should.
Yeah. Everyone should, I think.
Yeah, and when you create, what's important for you to kind of deliver with your music? Maybe something like that.
Yeah, it's like I wouldn't say edginess per se, but it has to. I think like some people when they make music, they should think about what they bring to the world that hasn't been brought to the world yet.
Oh, that's tough.
You can also do. It's
if
tough.
I'd be a new musician, I'd be like,
that's really tough. Yeah, it's a little bit arrogant as well.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, you can totally also do like just EDM or mainstream music, which I sometimes even also like actually. But when we do it, it's something like we started the thing and was like we got into gabber music and was like, okay, we don't really have gabber music with punk female vocals on it. Which
and
is an important new thing, and also
good
like good vocals,
because
like feminist topics and everything.
Music is really the vocals are really sexist. So some songs we would like to play, but we can just not play them.
I play a part and then just stop when the shitty vocals come in.
Yeah, but of course it works in every industry. You want to find a white spot. Of course, that's first where you make money and also where you can grow. And also, this was a bit. We were a bit bored of the rave scene at a special point.
How would you describe it then?
I think in the beginning we were quite enjoying it, but then we at some point found it a bit boring and slowly a bit overused, and we thought we could just bring a new spark in it.
Yeah, it's not overused. Yeah, it's for some people it's not overused. For us, it is. But it's
sorry.
Just the no, just the same artist playing the same music, and you cannot really get into it. I don't know, it's weird. And then, I mean, also, yeah, we are definitely in the rave culture. We cannot say anything against it, but I don't really want to see myself in the rave culture, so
Why?
we just try to bring something punky, and our influences actually are not in techno most of the time. It's just the 4-on-4 beat that makes us techno. The rest is punk and like avant-garde rap, like Def Grips or something.
I just wanted to say, if you would ask us of our influence, it would not be so much in the scene or in our own genre, but it's more what we listened to it in the last years. And
What about it? It makes you like take a distance from it, would you say?
For me, I mean, I think what I really don't like about, especially in Germany, in other places, it's okay, but in Germany, if you say, they take it so seriously and they're like, techno is a revolution, and I'm like, no, it's really not. It's like, I mean, maybe some events, but like going to Berghain is not a revolution. They make millions of euros. Like, I'm nothing against them, but it's not a revolution. It's like, you're just being fucked, and that's it. And I don't know. I don't take it so seriously as so many people take it. We're still part of it, of course. We go party. We met a lot of amazing people.
We just went on
partying.
Berghain
We literally went
on Sunday.
on Sunday. It's amazing. Yeah, not that, but like I'm not standing there and being like, this is my life, and I'm making a point right now. You're making
identity.
Not a point.
It's not your identity.
It's not my identity. Yeah, really not. Like I'm not gonna write techno in my bio, like in my private bio. You know, it just says techno, and I live for it. It's not my thing. Anyone can do it, but probably not gonna like you. No, joking.
No, not joking.
But yeah, you're still ravers. You party, and like going to techno parties or any raves are something you have big interests in.
I think we changed a bit from going to a certain club and going to specific parties. So we have some collectives that are
Shout out to Florgasm, of course. Mess,
Florgasm.
Malachunta, it's amazing
Yeah,
parties.
like it's more like the collectives that are throwing really good parties at in Berlin at the moment, with really nice artists, and the approach of how they're doing the party is like really safe and really selective, and I think this is where you can really have a lot of fun. And also really good music, and I think this is where we see more of each other than saying now we're going to this and this club.
In what way does it differ, would you say, like how they work?
So I think they're really inclusive in where they are, like all the collective in general. So
like who runs the party is different. Yeah, then it's like they're not making money off queer parties, you know, what some people do. Like it's straight people throwing a queer party. They are actually the queer people that should throw the parties and know how this party should be. So I don't know.
Making it a safe space, and in just the selection of who's on the door, like for example in Florgasm. So yeah, I think it's a different experience than in other clubs. They're more profit driven because the selection is just different, and I think it's nothing bad because we also want to make money, as we said before, but I think when we are privately when we go partying there, I think we feel more comfortable.
Yeah, those are the parties. But I mean, we will still go to Berghain forever.
Of course.
Okay. Yeah, it's a few things about the rave culture that kind of had us that we didn't really like so much in the last time. I think it's also terribly unstylish. It's like the techno scene is super unstylish. I just don't feel comfortable
sitting there in your Balenciaga.
Exactly.
Eat the rich.
Love it. Yeah. It's but it's also something that it feels like you are maybe people who get fed up with things a little bit quicker. I don't know. Like done it, tried it, next thing. Or
I think that's what we're on now actually. Like I think it's always gonna be rooted in like in the essence of techno in the end, so we will always make like danceable music. But I mean it's so far away already that you shouldn't really call it that anymore.
It's not, like, but we definitely take influences, especially like from the early hardcore music, and we have of course a lot of influences from music in the past.
Hardstyle a lot, yeah.
Hardstyle, like, of course, like we want to do danceable music, but then in our own approach.
But it's gonna change. It's definitely gonna. I think it's gonna change.
I think the new album it's gonna be a bit more avant-garde, and also our vocals or the lyrics. Also less
more poppy as well.
Poppy, but in the lyrics more avant-garde and more, dada, more. Also a bit more violent and aggressive. Like we had some lyrics we didn't want to say before, but now we're gonna definitely do the songs because we feel more comfortable.
We're more self-confident now.
So I think there's gonna be.
Can you say one or something?
It's all in German actually.
Yeah.
It's really like German, and it's really that how it is Dada. Like one sentence wouldn't make sense. Like it just doesn't make sense. But
if you translate it, it doesn't work.
It's like a song, for example, that we're probably gonna call Violence, and it's just like it's kind of like a call for violence a little bit. It's a very dark song. So this is like something extreme that we wouldn't do before, that we are finally feeling like the power to do. Actually, it's what we always wanted to do. We like rewrote lyrics before that were pretty extreme. Like Satan was a baby boomer was more extreme in the beginning, and then we kind of toned it down a little bit because we were afraid that people like would be angry. But now we're not afraid anymore, I would say.
Okay, where is it heading? Like, what do you want? What do you want with the music?
That's where it's heading. It's just gonna be super offensive. No. It's still. I think what it is now with like, let's say, Good Girl or something. It's not. It's a very clear song, and I think it's important because it's a feminist hardstyle song. But it's gonna be. It's not gonna be as direct anymore in this. Like it's just like one agenda. You can easily say I support it. It's just gonna be like all over the place, aggressive, and like something to think about it a little bit. Not the deepest, but not easy consumable.
No.
I mean, I think our music is easy consumable. A lot of people disagree, especially like parents or.
It's another era for sure.
I mean, it's always like when friends of my parents or anyone says like when they heard of it, it's like the first thing is always it's not my music, but I'm happy for you.
My father started to like it though.
Yeah, your father likes it. My father likes it a little bit, so yeah.
He didn't like so much our hair set. He said, I could really see that you're still beginners. And then we had the boiler room. He was like, I really like that. And it's really good music.
Very tough critique. It's like,
I like it.
They're really honest, both of them. So if they don't like something, they just say it. So actually, it was a big compliment that they liked it.
Exactly. Then you can trust their opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not so, But do you feel that music can change, because it can be very political, right? That's what you're also talking a lot about. But do you feel that your music, maybe it's very self-aware, but like, do you feel that your music can change people's opinion or move some bricks in the society, or is that a goal or not really?
I mean, like, in terms of changing someone's opinion, that has to be like really, like that maybe
that was
something, because
heavy.
like, I think that's also a bad thing sometimes because most people who are gonna listen to us, I think they probably already share the opinions that we have. I mean, that's not a bad thing, but I cannot see a terrible sexist listen to Good Girl and be like, oh, wait, I was wrong the whole time. Or like cops listening to No Sex with Cops. Wait, it's true, fuck me, what the fuck?
But was there not even in the comments once a police?
No, they always...
Man, officer.
I don't know.
Said, I am a policeman, but I really like the lyrics. But
true,
he still stayed a policeman, so he didn't change his...
But they could also be propaganda for cops.
Yeah, of course. But I think this is not the main agenda. But of course, if it's some people that get influenced by it, of course, it's a nice side effect.
Yeah.
I would not deny that, right?
It's definitely young. We have we have a lot of young people that listen to us, apparently. Like, we looked through TikTok a little bit, which we don't get yet, but it's like, we saw, like, even, like, what seems like 14-year-olds or something being in their childhood rooms and listening to No Sex with Cops, and I think that's a good thing. Of course, it's like you can have worse people to look up to than us, I guess.
Yeah, I think this is the main. Like, we have really a young audience and a lot of female young audience, so I think it's always good to be a good example.
Definitely, yeah.
I like that.
And I mean, music is definitely political.
Yeah.
And it's what you said, you like rap, but then you are today even muting them when they sing that. It shows something about it, for sure. But if you look forward, like now you are still studying photography, you are still working film,
No worries.
and you're still working with shoes.
Yeah.
And yeah, it has been very uncertain times and everything. But if you look forward, what is something that you are like longing for or dreaming about, or even looking forward to?
I mean, looking forward is obviously I'm gonna finish my studies finally. I'm fucking hate it. It's horrible. And I mean, I love film, but I hate the studies. So
is it a bad school?
Yeah, it's a horrible school. I can actually drop the name. Fuck you, SRH. I fucking hate you.
Why?
I mean, maybe just aired. Oh, when you aired, I'm done. So yeah, fuck you, SRH. You're the worst.
Teachers are bad, or like?
No, it's just terrible organization. Terrible. Like we didn't even fucking do one fucking film or anything. Like nothing.
What?
It was just like. I mean, it was Corona, to be fair, but come on, make an effort. It was very disheartening, and like it put me away a little bit from this thing. So I'm really happy this works out. Not our relationship. I'm happy about that too, but like our project works out as well. You know, because I'm just happy. I'm looking forward to finish that and just totally focus on it. I'm not gonna do anything else hopefully for the next years, because now it's working really well. So I'm just gonna focus completely on that, and then I think we can have more. We can have better music. I can finally go more into analog producing again and stuff.
I think.
And then you are gonna quit your job as well. So
I think what you said, it was still with the uncertain times. So of course I was still a bit cautious, but I think it's going to a direction where we can really just focus on that. And I think it just started our journey. So yeah, I think we're just at the beginning. I think there's bigger things to come.
Yeah. But do you have a picture of work life? Because it feels like you're very unpretentious, firstly, and going your own way, and have a like good sense of what you want to do, and have released all the outside view on yourselves. And we talked a bit about the like your way of like spending quality time with each other and not being on tour all the time. What's your view on like work-life balance?
I think for me it's still horrible.
Yeah.
I still work in fashion, as said, and then on the weekends we're traveling, even if we don't take so many shows. Of course, it's super exhausting.
Yeah.
Then sometimes we also want to go out, see friends. So it's not really,
Oh, it's just chaos. It's crazy.
Chaos, and not really like having an agenda, like what, when. But I hope this gonna change next year when we figure out a little bit more how the touring is going. We said we want to go more into touring, and then it's maybe
more
one or
concerts,
two concerts, touring,
concert
like
tours.
1 or 2 months, like working full straight, and then maybe 1 month chilling or producing, to be a bit more, or to plan more the year ahead.
Yeah, we missed like all of our friends' birthdays this year because we didn't
really
plan ahead. It was like we just like planned everything.
Yeah.
Not planning everything, but like, we just said yes to shows, and then it's like, oh, it's our best friend's 30th
we
birthday.
lost the most important
Nice.
moments of the things that you should be here and you should not miss. So this was a bit.
All right. Okay, this is like the last question before we go to the subscribers, Patreons only, and then we do the game. But if there's any artist you'd like to collaborate with,
I would say Amy and the Sniffers. It's a new Australian punk band, and the singer Amy Taylor is just insane. Like her energy, she's like, I think the best punk singer I've ever heard. I think just like the power in her energy and how she pronounces and says words is so insane. she would be insane. And then, I mean, there's a few things that are reachable now that we won't say yet, but it's like German artists that we also really like that are kind of big as well. So, but we cannot say that yet because that is actually maybe gonna happen.
But no one within the electronic music scene, really, or techno scene,
so much,
like
no.
more so.
Because I'm producing, I don't want another producer. At the same,
you don't need it.
Yeah. No, that would be annoying to work with another producer.
But I mean, she's the genre is still a bit ravey pop.
You mean from the new record or anything? Yeah, of course, yeah.
So it also, it's
Now
not 100% our music, but it also really fits, and I think it could be a bit a match.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be. Oh no, we have also like, I mean the whole Atarashi Gakko. I hope I said that right. It's like this.
Yeah.
I think 4 girls from from Tokyo. Are they? I'm not sure right now.
I also not sure if they are
So
from
we just
Seoul.
take it out. We need we need more information.
Yeah. But it's like too punk for punk.
Sometimes
What
punk,
punkers?
sometimes rap. Like they do everything.
really
They're
cool.
amazing. And I think that could be a really good viral thing if we connect more to an Asian market as well.
And we
That
also
would be
like,
nice.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Something really
Exciting. Yeah, that's super exciting. Wow. Okay, it's going to be so exciting to hear where you're going because, I mean, Brutalismus 3000 hit like a brick. Like, it blew up. It's really crazy. You started just before the pandemic and it's been like, what, 3 years?
Not even,
Yeah,
yeah.
2 years?
2, yeah, right?
Yeah, max
A little bit
2
more,
years.
yeah.
Like shows we're playing since 1 year, like
Yeah.
July 1st last
Wow.
year. And the first EP dropped right when the pandemic started.
Yeah,
so
in April.
April 2 years ago.
Oh, crazy. Yeah, okay. So let's get into the Patreon part where we're going to hear some tips because, I mean, it's crazy how you manage all this. It's super impressive. And yeah. Now we have come to the part of the podcast where, if you're a Patreon, you'll get the insights of how Brutalismus grew so quickly according to themselves, and some tips for you musicians who are looking to make it. If you like what you're listening to and want the extra material, go to patreon.com/Playful Magazine, and thank you so much for your support. So now we're coming to the part, we're moving back into the normal interview again.
For the normal people.
For the normal people who don't want to pay extra. No, but yeah. But no, the other thing is it's also going to be in the written interview. Anyways, so we have this one thing that is when we have 2 guests, who's more likely to. So it's inspired by the weddings. When you have one shoe of each and you hold it up like, who's the person?
2 beer and
Exactly. Yeah, you look the same. So we're not going to need any shoes. Thankfully, we can hear the difference of your voices.
Can we off the record get another beer? Just me you have, right?
Do we have more beers?
That's the one tip. You have to drink a lot of beer.
We're back. Yeah, exactly. That's the tip from you. The insider tip. All right. Who's most likely to go all in on a conspiracy theory?
Yeah, I think it's me.
Yes, for sure. I love how I was like too afraid to say it before you would say it, but yeah. For sure.
Yeah?
Yes.
All right.
Nothing offensive, but yeah, I'm really like really strict on conspiracy and on like the things. I'm just like very rational.
Yeah? What's something is there anything you...
I don't know. I used, like, when I was going back from partying back in the days, I was watching, like, all this alien conspiracy theories.
Oh, I love
Area
that too.
51.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't believe everything, but yeah, it quite interests me, like, this opinion about people and how deep they can dig in proving their opinion. I think this is also, but
Improving.
Proving.
Okay.
And some of them also make sense. I would say.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few things that like happened in life that were hardcore conspiracy theories, and then they just turn out to be true, like very terrible things. CIA like crack into like black neighborhoods. It's insane. Like this is a true thing that was a conspiracy theory, and it just happened to like not happen to be true. Turned out to be true.
Yeah.
So not everything is wrong, but it's a very thin line in conspiracy theories to not go into very, very offensive
Exactly.
beliefs. So I'm just like trying to be rational.
And space is huge, and so is many things. Okay. That's weird. Okay,
Very deep.
be strict about bedtime or keeping to a certain food schedule.
No, we're both not. I would
Yeah,
say.
neither.
Neither, no one. Okay.
Not at all. We should be a little bit more, but no, we are very often like lazy, unorganized people in a lot of things.
We eat whenever and go to bed whenever, and
it's
where
normally
the tiredness
Eat in
comes.
bed, order in bed, room is a mess, everything.
Yeah,
That's how it has to be.
All right.
creative cows.
Yeah.
Get sterile without telling the other person.
Oof.
Getting what?
Is that like not being able
Sterilized.
to get children?
Sterilized.
That would be a tough thing.
I think that would never happen between us to not tell the other.
Yeah.
No, I think
I
we're
could
really
never
open to this kind of
I could
things.
never think you would do it, so I just have to say I would do it. I'm down. I will do it. No, I'm joking. No one. There's no one.
No one. Yeah.
Yeah. There's not an answer.
All
But
right.
it's a really, I love how hardcore the question gets.
It's just the third one. Let's
Yeah.
wait.
Yeah.
Exactly. To storm off the stage because of a terrible sound engineer.
Both. Yeah, and me. For
You
sure.
more, yeah. Because the more problems are with the vocals
Yeah.
all the time. Like the
It's
vocals are
really-
the problems,
it's
and
really
you are
annoying.
you would be more.
I would
more
just we played one show some months ago and we said if the sound is really bad we just stop the music and start a riot.
We started right through, yeah.
And
Did
then
it
I
happen?
crack my neck
No.
while saying it. No, but no.
No, they had like a limiter on it. Apparently, we heard it from an event before at the same venue that there's like a limiter, and every time there's like a drop coming before the drop, it's really loud because there's no bass, and then when the bass hits, it would get really quiet. And we said that's basically like the main moments in our set. If that is on, we're not gonna play, and we're like go on stage and like scream at the organizers to put off the limiters. So with that threat, they put it off from the beginning. So
Okay,
that was
okay.
okay. Fuck the
You tried
neighbors.
it out. You
Yeah.
know how to work the stage
Yeah.
engineers. Read poems out loud. Oh, I was gonna say the different. I thought it was
yeah,
you,
I'm
Ricky.
probably more.
Yeah,
Yeah?
I'm
Alright.
always shy to show my lyrics. Or
No, you mean like a poem from anyone?
Yeah,
right?
from
yeah.
anyone.
It's me.
It's
still.
Theo, yeah.
Yeah, I would say. Like we had this like
I
Ellen
like
Ginsberg,
I like that also.
Ellen Ginsberg phase when we were on vacation in Spain, and
And
I
was
would
just like
read
this.
the poems. It's a little bit like
And he was
pretentious, but it's lovely. It's lovely.
It is lovely, and
Yeah.
especially in closed doors, it feels more.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go to a party
Exactly.
and read like a poem. It's like, okay, do something
Or start poetry
intellectual
slam.
for once, you idiots.
No, but for example, 2 weeks ago we went to a cocktail bar and I had a book on me and I asked him if I want to take it, and it was just interviews from punk DJs, I wanted to say,
Punk DJs.
punk artists in the 70s, and we just read.
Yeah.
I just read him a few of the interview comments, and it was
Yeah.
also nice.
I
But
think
usually
nice.
him, yeah.
I think also this is a great way to like kick your creativities in
a lot.
ways.
We were really inspired by that, especially it was like Gabi Delgado from Duff
Yeah.
talking about like his aesthetic visions and everything, and that was really inspiring, especially for our new work.
Yeah, that's true.
To move into the woods and become the Unabomber.
I mean, the Unabomber thing I would do, but
But
the
not
woods,
move
no.
into the
I'm,
woods.
I'm not gonna be a
Yeah.
fucking hippie.
Yeah, that's true.
I'd rather be a bomber than a hippie.
Me too.
Maybe not so hard.
Okay, but that's Theo more or
yeah, the Unabomber thing definitely.
okay.
But the moving into the woods,
No one.
no one.
It's like
Okay,
so
okay.
out of the question. Like anything, like barefoot walking around in the woods and be like
Sitting on
close
the
to
floor
nature.
without shoes. Come on.
No, I'm never gonna be close to nature. Fuck that.
Okay, to buy a sports car.
Me.
Yeah. Yeah, true, yeah. I
Yes.
mean, I don't even have a license, so it would
I
probably
showed them
be
already a few cars, so but it's gonna be like more like some old cars, like Dodge Challenger, Dodge Charger, or like what was it, Parisienne.
Pontiac
Pontiac
Parisien. We saw it in
Parisienne.
Berlin, and it was like, okay, I want to drive
But also, I would
Like
love
this.
a car that the door opens like this, and I can just
the Back to the Future car. Yeah.
yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I
I think
love cars.
Vicky is the answer. She
And
loves cars, and I
also,
don't give a fuck
I
about
would
cars.
give him a ride because I'm the one with the license, so I would just open the door for him and take him on a ride.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be
I mean,
nice.
if we have a really fancy car, I would maybe make
Enter the
like
car.
do a license at
Yeah.
one point, because that would be stupid. But now there's really no reason to
Yeah.
get driven
Without a cool
anywhere.
car. True.
No, but like in Berlin, there's no reason to have a car. Like,
No.
Yeah.
No. Oh
We
well.
just take a
I'm
Uber.
like, no, not at all.
Do you have one? Yeah, no shade.
But
obviously.
I blame my dog. She really doesn't. She has a lot of traumas.
Oh no.
Yeah, she seems really anxious. It's so
Oh,
cute.
babe.
Look at this. I'm saying she seems anxious.
You
and
see
then
her?
there's the
Oh,
face.
no.
Yeah.
Oh,
She has
baby
more
girl.
followers than us, the dog. So
A lot
a
more.
lot more.
On TikTok at least.
Yeah.
Anyway, oh yeah, to zoom out of a conversation, but still answer as if you heard it.
It's very easy. That's
Yeah.
my total ADHD thing I do. But I mean, I'm not
He
so
does
good
like
in the
this.
answering as I
Yeah.
heard it. I
Yeah.
just get quiet when I don't listen. I'm
No,
like,
you just yeah.
uh.
Also,
Even-
if he
even my
doesn't like
friends know, just
something,
like
it's like
everyone.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I zoom out of everything, and in so many situations, it's really hard to keep me interested in stuff, because I'm just gonna be like,
We made it.
yeah, I
Oh.
mean, yeah,
Okay. Anyways, moving on.
you did it, yeah.
To not lose interest and to hear Theo say like, "Oh well." Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
get thrown out of the club.
Yeah, that's me. I would say.
I mean,
I was already
Can
thrown
we-
out of the club.
true, but can we count trying to sneak your way into the club? And then I was thrown out really aggressively the last time at 1st of May,
Yeah.
when there was like this big, huge bouncer. And I don't know why,
True.
but I didn't want to pay. And I tried to sneak in like 4 times.
I don't know why, but I didn't want to pay.
And then he was like carrying me out like
We're
this
not
and
famous yet.
was like, don't try it again. And I was like, look at you. I'm obviously not going to try it again. You're like 20 times my size. So I didn't try again, obviously. I didn't want to get beat up. But yeah, you would be more
More
thrown
likely
out.
to
Yeah.
thrown out. Yeah.
You're more, when we're partying, you're more punk than I am. I think like you always want to do some shit that would get us thrown out, and like, please, we just got here. So can I climb on this and destroy this? And it's like, yeah, no.
Oh, okay. Quit producing and start a practitioner with the shaman.
Oof.
Oh, no one.
Neither. No.
Neither.
That's the same,
No
same
one.
as living in the woods.
No, that's never.
Curse. Okay.
Never. No one is likely in like
No.
no situation ever in the
No.
world, in the universe, with any possible
No.
multiverse thing. No
Would
one would
not
do
work.
this of us.
No. We would probably first.
I would
Kill
literally,
ourselves.
I would literally rather do this.
Yeah.
All right. To forget the other person's birthday.
Me, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm bad at that. But like, I never forgot your birthday. But
Because I mentioned I want to do something in 3 days. He was like, what is in 3 days? I'm joking.
no, but I do forget. I don't even know my parents' birthday. It's like,
Yeah.
I always get by either like my mother reminds me that it's my father's birthday in 2 weeks, or the other way around. So I can always get presents or
Yeah.
anything.
For me, it's my sister. She always writes me
Yeah.
that it's soon a new birthday approaching and if we should buy a present.
Yeah.
And
But
she
you're
wants to
definitely
not
more, you
forget.
remember that more than I do.
All right. To stay at the club for 3 days straight.
Both, but more you, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah.
You stay a little bit longer sometimes.
No, we stayed. We always arrange ourselves and go together.
We go together most of the time, but like it's weird. Like sometimes, especially like after hour things, I'm more energetic. If it's like just the people in a room, and I'm really an entertainer a lot. Like
Yeah.
so, I drive. I really thrive from that. Like,
Yeah, that's
to
true.
just like be the guy that everyone looks at and like dance to stupid stuff. But like clubbing or anything, no. It's like it's enough after
Then it's
a day.
me,
Oh, guys, thank you so much. That
Thank
was
you too
super
for having
nice.
us.
Yeah, it was really chill.
So lovely.